You should not just end the project abruptly, because you need to, like you have here, dot the I's, cross the T's. You need to close gracefully, release your resources, document your lessons learned, archive your information, collate this, confirm nothing is left hanging. So closing the project, and then more importantly, the final deliverable will be handed over to the stakeholder, to the sponsor. And then final closing projects involves completing activities across all the process groups and then bringing it to a final closure for the project. So closing projects, you are either closing the project here or you are closing a phase, just like we explained earlier. So this is a very sticky area because it's the point in which the customer agrees to accept the final product of the project. Even though before this point, where you have been doing, you will have done validating the scope, wherein you take the deliverable for acceptance and all of them. But this is when you actually get the final approval to say, yes, this thing has been handed over to you, and then you want to close the project permanently. So the customer or the sponsor is basically signing off. This signing off here means that you are done. I am satisfied with your work. And then you get a document to show, to prove that yes, you are done. So this closure basically says that the work of the project and the project itself are complete. The implication of this is that once the project has been closed, it is closed. Any other thing is warranty work, or maybe even another new project. So once a project is closed, the project manager has completed the deliverables, handed over, you are done. That project is closed. Whatever happens after then, you can't call project manager again. If you do, then that's maybe support work, which is now operation, or warranty work, or after service. It's important that you understand this very well, because if you leave this section of the project hanging, when you do not close your project appropriately, you could be causing a lot of problem for yourself. I know you understand the fact that there's some projects that an extra day on site could cost a lot of money. You don't want to leave this hanging. You don't want a situation whereby you think you are done, but because you did not close properly, the customer or the sponsor doesn't understand that you're actually done. It just feels it's maybe one of those other meetings in which you have come to get approval. And then 3 days after, they are calling you back to site to come and do something. And you have to bear the costs. So that is why you have to ensure all parties understand that right now we are closing the project. And you get a document to say that at this point, this customer is satisfied with the project and the deliverables, and we are bringing the project to an end. This way, all parties understand that the project has completed, and whatever happens after this point could be regarded as warranty work and not the project. That's now operation, ongoing operation of maintaining whatever you have done on the project. So the number of symptoms that could arise when closing the project fails to have appropriate support. Yes. Imagine issues cropping up late in the project while you are closing the project. You need to ensure things have been done well before now. As much as possible, you don't want to encounter problems here. Closing the project, this time is a wrong time to encounter problems, because the consequences are huge. You have spent so much money. You have taken so much time. So you don't want to start identifying issues at this point. But what if they occur? What are the kind of things that could occur? Inappropriate closing of the project. In fact, you could also have cases in which maybe your lessons learned are not documented well, your project archives are not updated. So you also want to ensure your records are complete. So imagine a case in which you at that point you realize your records are not complete. So these are some of the errors you could identify. Good for you. I hope you don't identify issues in the final product itself, because that could be very dangerous for the project. But apart from those big issues, you could have some other smaller issues. For example, maybe like the lessons learned document that we said you could realize that you've not done well, you've not archived your project documents well. These ones might be regarded as minor, even though they're actually major in terms of professionalism. So they might not necessarily stop your project, they might not make the sponsor to reject the project, but this is part of professionalism. On your project, you also used OPAs. How do you ensure you also package your OPAs well, your own documents well, to add to organizational learning? But there could be bigger issues that could lead to problems when you are closing the project. It could be as big as failure to attain sign-off. Some things could be uncovered, some things could be detected at that point of handover, that the sponsor would decide, I'm not accepting deliverables of this project. That's a lot of problem for you. So you want to ensure that you have done your monitoring and controlling very well before this point, because this is not a point to start detecting errors. All these issues should have been detected and corrected before getting to closure. So if you are not careful, big issues like failure to assign sign-off could occur at this point, and this will lead to a lot of product rework, extensive rework on the product, and a lot of delay on the project. So as much as possible, we try to avoid this. So there's a joke here saying, I just finished project on time and budget. Beautiful. Next time we give you less money and less time. This is just a joke. Always be truthful. Manage your projects the right way.